May Zeus himself strike me down if I'm lying. Hey, didn't strike me though.
I love a lot of things in this life, but one thing that I really love is mythology. I absolutely love Greek and Norse mythology. I've been learning more about Egyptian and Chinese mythology, and I want to learn more about Aztec and Mesopotamian, and about lots of them actually. I just really love mythology, and I couldn't really tell you why. I just do. Of course, all of them are incredibly interesting and amazing, but one that I think is insane is Greek mythology, and I think more people should learn about it. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit, so here's this video. Honestly, I'll probably make more videos about other mythologies because I really do love talking about them and just learning more about them in general. Before I start, I just want to say, if you find it interesting or you like the video, please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate all and any support. Anyways, thank you for watching. So I'm not going to start from the very beginning with the primordials or go into a lot of detail, because if I do, I'll probably make an hour-long video, if not longer. But if you are interested in something like that, please let me know. Anyways, let's talk about what most people probably know about, that being the Olympians. The Olympians are basically like the third generation of gods, to put it in a way, since before them there was the Titans, and before them there was the primordials. Point is, one of the Titans, known as Cronus, had 6 kids, 3 daughters and 3 sons, those being Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus. And they were all a big happy family. I'm just playing, by the way. Far from it, actually. So to begin with, Cronus actually had those kids with his sister Rhea. So yeah, that was a thing. Then, in fear of being overthrown, Cronus actually decided that he should eat his kids once they were born. So yeah, that was also a thing. Why he had them to begin with is a good question. I guess they just didn't have any kind of protection back then. I don't know. Anyways, point is that he ate all his kids except for one. That being Zeus. His mother Rhea was tired of seeing 9 months of pain go to waste like that, and decided to try and save baby Zeus. Bad decision, by the way, but we'll talk about that. Point is that she basically gave Cronus a rock in a diaper instead of baby Zeus, and he ate it. Literally. And so Zeus got to grow up, and eventually he gave Cronus a potion that made him throw up all his kids. And so Zeus reunited with his brothers and sisters, went to war with the Titans for 10 years, and won, actually, after which they sent most of the Titans to Tartarus, that being the deepest and most secure part of the underworld. And after that, Zeus and his siblings became the gods of the world. Again, I'm not going into too much detail, because that would probably take me a while, but that is just basically the end of the beginning. Like I said, most of the Titans were vanished, but 2 that were not were Epimetheus and Prometheus. They were actually the ones in charge of populating Earth with animals and people. Well, let's just say that Prometheus did a little bit more than just that. He actually stole the fire from Mount Olympus and gave it to humanity, giving us intelligence, which can be debated, technology, and civilization. Well, let's just say that Zeus didn't really like that very much and decided to punish him by nailing him to a mountain and sending an eagle every morning to eat his liver, which would regenerate by the next morning just so it could happen again. So yeah, he took one for the team, to say the least. Honestly, I don't know why Zeus was so mad. He ended up loving humans. Maybe a little too much. Let's just say that if you asked Zeus for his body count, he would probably just say everyone possible. Which, like, we don't judge here, but damn, he sure didn't know how to get busy. Also, he did all this while being married to his sister Hera. Which, yeah, I guess that was just their thing back then. I don't know. Well, obviously Hera didn't really like the fact that Zeus kept on cheating on her, so she would go after Zeus's lovers and kids, which led to many stories that I think are pretty funny. Not the cheating part. That isn't funny. Don't cheat. There was this one time when Zeus went to play with one of his lovers, Io. Obviously Hera found out, and so she went to where they were playing, and when Zeus realized that Hera was on her way, he turned Io into a cow. Which, wow, how disrespectful. But the worst part is that in order to convince Hera, he gave Io to Hera. Because Hera wasn't convinced, and she was like, oh, give me the cow then. And Zeus had no reason not to, so he did. So picture this, you're Io. A couple minutes ago, you were about to play Super Smash Bros. With Zeus, and now not only are you a cow, but you were given to Zeus's wife. So yeah, point is that Hera then gets a giant to watch over Io so Zeus couldn't go to her. Eventually Zeus gets Hermes to distract and eventually kill the giant. And then she just started wandering the earth as a cow. Eventually she meets Prometheus and he tells her that she'll eventually be turned back and that she'll be fine. And she is. She is eventually turned back, everything turns out fine for her. But still, can you imagine that? Like, how long did she spend as a cow? She could have spent days, weeks, maybe even months or years as a cow. That's just insane to me, honestly. There was another time where one of Zeus's lovers actually asked him to see his true form. And Zeus is like, why not? What's the worst that can happen, right? Well, it turns out that the worst that can happen is that he turns into his true godly form and incinerates her in an instant. Yeah, so basically he turns into his true form and boom, just charcoal. Like she instantly gets incinerated. It's like that one video of the Ash baby. There was another time when he disguised himself as Alcmene's husband and played with her all night, which eventually led to Heracles being born, which is another wild story that honestly deserves its own video, and I'll probably end up making it if I'm honest. Zeus also once turned himself into a golden rain to impregnate a woman who was locked in a tower by her father to prevent her from having any children, which I am 100% sure Zeus did that to mess with the father. Anyways, the kid that was born from that was Perseus, which, like Heracles, probably deserves his own video since his story is also pretty crazy. And again, I'll probably end up making it at one point. He also once turned himself into a swan to seduce Leda, the queen of Sparta, which I am not even going to begin to examine what that means. In general, Zeus was not a good guy. Between turning lovers into cows and giving away his daughter to his brother, this guy did everything you could imagine. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't talked about Persephone, have I? Yeah. So Persephone is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, yet another one of his sisters. Point is that there was this one time when Hades was sad because he didn't have a wife. So Zeus was just like, no worries, you can take my daughter. Like, what? And Hades just kidnaps her. What kind of family is this? Like, what are we doing? Obviously, Demeter didn't know about any of this. So when she found out, she was like, nah, I don't play like that. Give me back my daughter or humanity is cooked. Demeter was the goddess of fertility and agriculture and harvesting. So when all that happened, she made winter exist. And it is said that winter happened because a deal was made that for 6 months Persephone had to stay with Hades and the other 6 months she could stay with Demeter. And when Persephone's gone, Demeter is so sad that she makes winter happen. So yeah, that's a thing. At least one of the sisters didn't have to put up with Zeus's BS, that being Hestia. She is the goddess of home and hospitality, and she was actually the firstborn child of Cronus and Rhea. Point is that after Poseidon and Apollo, her brother and nephew tried to marry her, she went to Zeus and she made an oath that she would always be a virgin and never marry anyone. So yeah, she didn't have to deal with that BS, which honestly, good for her. I can't even lie. Honestly, I could probably go on for hours talking about the insanity that is Greek mythology, and in this video I only really talked about Zeus, but there's also Poseidon, which is just like his brother if not worse. Hades, who although not as bad as his other brothers, there's still some crazy stories. Also, it's crazy that kidnapping your niece to make her your queen is not as bad. There's Heracles, which like I said is an insane story and it deserves its own video. There's Hephaestus and the time he came back to Mount Olympus. There's Ares and Aphrodite. There's the fall of Icarus, the story of Theseus and Odysseus, and there's Jason and the Argonauts. There really is a lot of stuff, and I'll most likely end up making more videos about more myths because I really do love talking about it and I think more people should learn about it in general. Anyways, that's about it for today. If you found it interesting or entertaining, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want a longer video going over more stories in more detail, please let me know. I'll gladly do it. Like I said, I'll happily spend hours talking about this. And if you stayed until the end, I just want to say I really do appreciate it and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hello. I just finished editing the video. I just wanted to say a couple things here at the end. First of all, if you're hearing this, I really do appreciate you staying until the end. I know a lot of people don't tend to do that. Even me, I don't really do that very often when I watch videos. So I really do appreciate it. First of all, I wanted to say, if I made any mistakes along the video, don't crucify me. I'm not an expert and I'm only human. So I'm going to make mistakes along the way. But what I really wanted to was just to kind of share my passion for it and maybe push someone to look even deeper into it. And maybe in the future I'll make a video going deeper into it and correcting any mistakes if I made them, which I'm pretty sure I did. Second thing, did you guys like my new editing thingies? I'm using CapCut for my videos and I just got the pro version, so I got a bunch more tools and things. I'm still playing around with them. I'll see if I put like a couple things around the screen when I'm saying this. But I'm having a lot of fun with it, honestly, I cannot even lie. And last thing is, I'll be honest, last month I wanted to publish at least 4 videos. And when the month ended, I didn't publish a single one. So when March started, I told myself to publish at least once a day for a week. And I did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But honestly, when I told myself that, it was more just to get the ball rolling, right? Kind of prove to myself that I could do it and that it was fun. And honestly, I was right. Not only have I been enjoying it a lot, but I did show myself that I can do it. Obviously, they're not perfect, they're not like groundbreaking, but I'm enjoying them. I think I'm doing okay. And as time goes on, I'm sure I'll improve, I'll get better. Maybe, who knows, honestly. Point is that I was thinking of just going into like a actual schedule, like publishing like Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. At least that's my initial thought. Making Saturday like the biggest video or like the one with the most work behind it. Just to kind of space out what I do and kind of give me enough time to work on the videos as much as I want to. Because with this one, I put a lot of work into it and it really ended up looking a lot like how I imagined it. And I like how it ended, honestly. Other than that, one last time, I just want to say I really do appreciate you if you stayed until the end and you heard all this. For now, that's it. I'll see you in the next one, and just remember to scratch that itch.